Welcome, class of HC. Like this video on your way in and comment present in the comment section below if you're here to become the best version of you. Here are the 4 steps on how to boost your self-esteem. Step 1. Accept. In order to boost your self-esteem, it is important to acknowledge that you need help in the first place. A lot of times, we find ourselves living through issues for extended periods of time because we fail to identify the issue we are going through in the first place. Think of this like wanting to run a marathon, but you have no shoes to run with. In this case, no matter how much you prepare, no matter how much you train, no matter how dedicated you are to achieving your goal, there is still an underlying issue that is hindering your growth forward. Only when you identify that you need shoes in order to make this experience and this journey possible, can all of that energy being put towards your goal start to be useful. In a way, then, to accept is to acknowledge that you do need help in a particular area, so that you can actually ask for the help that you need. Just like asking for help, if we don't make it known that we need help in an area, what are the chances that we will receive the help in the way that we need? To identify the issue is to understand and accept how you feel so that you can know how to move on from that feeling. Without identifying the issue, your lack of self-esteem feels like it's part of your personality, as if you are supposed to feel this way because it's just who you are. Accepting that it is something specific that you are trying to overcome helps to create a degree of separation between the lack of self-esteem and the person that you are. Always remember, a problem well stated is a problem half solved. Step 2. Provoke change. In this context, to provoke change is to put yourself in environments that encourage different outcomes than the one that you have been receiving. Provoking change implies challenging the identity of the person that has low self-esteem, because that identity is only you as long as you allow it to be. Challenging this identity is to invite circumstances that make you ask yourself why, and introspective questions such as, what are the things that affect my self-esteem? How long have they been a part of my reality? What actions can be taken to circumvent these things? And what does a person that does not have low self-esteem even look like? To provoke change is to consider what you are feeling and to pinpoint when those feelings arise, and then to actively challenge those feelings instead of allowing them to sink into and become who you are. For example, let's say your lack of self-esteem makes you afraid to strike up conversations with strangers. And whenever an opportunity to speak to someone new comes up, you avoid the circumstance altogether. In this case, provoking change would be to purposely put yourself in circumstances that will require you to speak or to avoid others, so that you can get used to what it feels like having to do so. This does not mean that you will be able to speak up right away. However, it does get you used to the idea that speaking with others is not as out of the ordinary as your mind would like for you to believe. Put yourself in situations that challenge your confidence, but ultimately build your competence. Disregard being perfect and prioritize learning and evolving. Boost your self-esteem by remembering why you are fighting in the first place. Provoking change is to build that confidence via systematic desensitization, having small but achievable goals and acknowledging your wins each time you achieve them. Step 3. Be patient. To be patient with yourself is to accept that part of the journey is simply learning to try again. Being patient means to allow yourself to experience the lows and appreciate that if you are ever to truly experience a high, the low is a necessary part of that process. As famously chanted by musician and business mogul 50 Cent, sunny days wouldn't feel so special if it wasn't for rain, and joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. Consider that if you had the sun every single day, you probably would not appreciate it because you would not know what it feels like to be without sunny days. This would likely result in you taking sunny days for granted and probably not making the most of your days. However, if you were bombarded with rain and bad weather for a long period of time, the sunny days would suddenly become that much more valuable to you because you know exactly what it means to be without. It is important to accept that in order to grow forward, there will be many times where you don't feel competent enough for the job because you have not yet accepted yourself as the person that can accomplish said goal. Patience is choosing to not give up on yourself right now because it is the awareness that although today may not be for you, tomorrow can be. Keep reminding yourself that things are working out for you, regardless of what today may look or feel like. What doesn't make sense now will soon bring you clarity and peace. You'll understand why certain things happened a certain way and why others did not. But this will only happen if you give yourself a chance by continuing to journey forward, because slow progress does not mean no progress. Boost your self-esteem by remembering to be patient and also remembering that it's okay to fail today because tomorrow is another day. Which leads us to our next and final step. Step 4, compassion. To be compassionate with yourself is to appreciate that just like all of us going through this life journey, you are not perfect. And you do not have all of the answers, but to remember that despite this, you are worthy and you are deserving of love, especially self-love. To show yourself compassion is giving yourself the love and consideration you are often so ready to give others. Compassion is important to boost self-esteem because we are often so hard on ourselves for not accomplishing what we set out to in the time frame that we set out to accomplish them. This often leads to negative thoughts and even self-sabotage. Remembering to be compassionate to ourselves is appreciating that yes, we can fail, but it does not mean that it is the end. Yes, we probably could have done better, but we did what we could do then. Consider that if you destroy yourself for your inability to have completed a task, you will now for sure not be able to complete said task. You are only possible if you refuse to be impossible. Remember to be compassionate and allow yourself to become who you are. Boost your self-esteem by remembering that you should give yourself a chance because, after all, it is your life. And if you don't go, how will you know? Well, that's it for class today. Thanks for your attendance. Before you leave class, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you here next time on Howell Consultations, the how-to being true to you.